Hello, I'm Jess, and this is Piano Spun Yarns, and today I'm going to be talking about the Eel Wheel Fold. I've been spinning on this wheel for about a week now. I have spun up quite a few bobbins, and there's some on this wheel. There's one bobbin I haven't used yet because I want to make sure that we can put it together. I want to talk about the Eel Wheel Fold and eel wheels in general, kind of do a little review, talk about some quirks of this wheel and why an eel wheel might or might not be right for you. The Eel Wheel Fold came out on a Kickstarter earlier this year and they just released. Mine arrived last Thursday. And the Eel Wheel Fold is a compact little wheel made by Dreaming Robots and Maurice Ribble, the creator of the eel wheels. This one is mid-sized as far as the wheels go. So this is the eel wheel. This is its kind of big brother, my main spinning wheel, the Eel Wheel 6.1. And this is like its little baby brother, the Eel Wheel Nano. This is the 2.1. I'm a huge fan of eel wheels, obviously. I almost always back them on Kickstarter if I can. I've backed every wheel on Kickstarter since I've started buying eel wheels. And the reason I appreciate this company so much is that Maurice is really trying to make these wheels as affordable as possible. So you will never see a sale on an eel wheel because they are already priced absolutely as cheaply as possible. The Eel Wheel Fold I backed on Kickstarter for $199. It is currently available on the Dreaming Robots website for $279. The Eel Wheel 6.1, a little bit bigger, definitely more of a production spinner capacity, huge bobbin on this, is $299 on the Dreaming Robots website. And our baby brother here, the Eel Wheel Nano, is $139 on the Eel Wheel website, on the Dreaming Robots website. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what makes the Fold special and why I think it's like the perfect intersection of both of these wheels. So like I said, I have been spinning on this wheel for about a week now. I've done a couple braids. I'm gonna be comparing the Eel Wheel Fold to the Eel Wheel 6.1 because I think that is the wheel it's most like. You'll notice that we have an S design on the flyer instead of a straight design on the flyer, which is supposed to help balance the wheel out a little bit. We still have our S and Z buttons and our on and off buttons, but on the Fold, we have this little display readout, and that is one of the pros to the Eel Wheel Fold. So you're going to be able to exactly see what speed you're spinning at on that little readout. That also causes one of the quirks of the wheel. So when you turn the wheel on, right now I have it plugged into AC, I have it plugged into the wall. You're gonna notice that the wheel, let me just grab an end here. You're gonna notice that the wheel does a little start-stop motion. It speeds up, it slows down, it speeds up, it slows down. And originally, I had thought that my wheel had a problem. I've had issues with my motor on my eel wheels in the past from extreme use, and Maurice has been great about getting them fixed. I've replaced the motor myself on the Eel Wheel 6.1. It was easy, it works perfectly now. So I thought that might have been the issue. I reached out to Maurice, and it is actually because of the way that the computer chipset works inside the wheel to make sure that you are always spinning at the same number. So I like to think of it as kind of like a code breaker dial. So the computer knows that we're trying to aim for 100, but instead of being able to jump right to 100, it sets the speed and then it will decide if the speed is too low or too high. So if you're trying to spin at 500 RPM, maybe it goes to 600 and then it has to, correct that and go down to 400, and then it kind of just dials it in until it gets to exactly 500. From what I've seen on the Eel Wheel group that I'm in, my wheel fluctuates a little bit more than others, But what I found is that I just have to turn it on and wait a little bit before I actually start spinning, which is different than the Eel Wheel 6.1. It will just automatically go to the speed so you can start spinning right away. This one, you just have to wait a second. Initially, I thought that was going to be more of an issue. It was definitely kind of an annoying quirk when I first turned the wheel on, but I got used to it really, really fast. And it's nice to have that readout. So from bobbin to bobbin, like for these two, for example, I was able to make sure that they were both spun at exactly 515 RPM. So they are going to be really, really even. And that's something that I can't dial in on the 6.1. The coolest thing about the Fold though is in its name. So the Eel Wheel Fold has a lot of magnetic components as opposed to the 6.1. So to change out the bobbin on the Eel Wheel Fold, the flyer is magnetic, so you just pull down this side of the maiden and then your bobbin comes right off and you can switch it out for a new one. And then just pop the maiden back on, pop your brake band back on, and you are ready to go. Super easy, really, really beautiful design there. I love it. On the 6.1, not so easy. You're gonna have to remove your brake band, your drive band, and you have to remove the whole flyer in order to change out the bobbins. And then to set it back up, you're gonna have to put your new bobbin on, reset your drive band, and reset your brake band. Overall, is not too bad. It's what a lot of us have been doing for years. And then you get something easier and suddenly you're like, I don't wanna do it any other way. So that's the first component of the fold. You can see that these maiden arms obviously fold and are magnetic, but the whole fold folds, making it an extremely portable wheel. So if you remove your drive band, I'm gonna remove the orifice reducer. Now both maiden arms can fold down. The bottom assembly, where you could put your battery, which we're going to talk about in a second, is again magnetic. On the Eel Wheel 6, it's a kind of latch mechanism with screws. So you have to line the holes up with the screws in order to set the two pieces together. The magnetic piece is really nice. And then your maiden arms just flip inside the fold. To put the flyer in the base, you're gonna first remove your hooks. In the bottom of the base, there are spaces where the hooks were meant to go, but there was like a calculation issue I've heard, or a printing issue. They don't really fit into those spots, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it's okay. Your flyer goes right into the bottom of the base, like that. Then you can just kind of rest your O-rings, your drive band in there. Make sure that your brake band makes it around. And then these two pieces, oops, I did them backwards. These two pieces, again, magnetically fit together. So now you have this super compact travel wheel. I would probably have a little like plastic bag for all the little accessories inside for my orifice reducer, but now my flyer is safe. I have traveled with this wheel by like placing it in a bag, and you just have to be real careful because all of this can get kind of knocked around. This is a much safer option. And I did on the Kickstarter opt to get the tote bag, which is really strong. It's very nice, like a nice thick linen-y fabric. It has some heft to it. Inside it has a long loop if you prefer to hold it that way, which goes in the middle. And you can close it with this little hook latch, hook and button right here, and then hold it from the middle. Or you can hold it via the handles, whichever works best for you. Your wheel just tucks inside. Very nice option. And inside here is also a zipper pouch where you can put all those little accessories that I was talking about. The Fold has a couple of battery options, so we'll just set it up together here. So when you get your wheel, it comes all folded like this. Again, everything's magnetic, so our maiden arms are in place. Remove the flyer. Put your hooks on. Hook should face away from the flyer. Up on the top. And then on this side, it's up to you if you want your hooks to also be on the top or if you want to flip the flyer and put them on this way. While I have the base open, I will talk about some battery options. So the Talent Cell battery, the YB1206000, this is the same battery that was used for the 6.1. This battery again fits so nicely into the base of the Eel Wheel Fold. Magnets right on, and then there is a hole cut into the back of the base where you can turn that battery on and off or charge it if you need to. To put your flyer on, you're going to put your drive band on first. Place your flyer into the front maiden. Close the back. Obviously there's no bobbin on this right now, but I'm gonna place that drive band down and around the flywheel. It's hard to do this backwards, so I'll do it and then show it to you. It's the wheel that actually drives the drive band. And that's it. Now she's all folded up. If you wanted to use AC power, you would plug it right into the back of the wheel. If you want to use the battery, the Talent Cell, there's this little splitter cable that goes from the battery to the main wheel. And you can see that our little readout here just lit up. Now, on the website, Maurice has two different battery suggestions. The Talent Cell, which fits really nicely inside the base and was the battery used for the 6.1, doesn't provide the power to make the wheel spin at its top speeds. For that, you would need a battery with a little more oomph. This is the one that he suggested. This one doesn't fit as nicely inside. Unfortunately, to use this battery, you need an additional cable, something that can go from USB to the little DC that the wheel uses. My cable, even though I ordered the battery and the cable at the same time, my cable has still not come in yet. So unfortunately, I have not been able to test this battery, but I could always use another portable battery, so that doesn't bother me that much. And you'll still get very high speeds with the Talent Cell battery, but if you are someone who likes to spin at thousands of RPM, 2,000, 3,000, then you're gonna want the battery with a little more oomph. So let's do a little spinning on this wheel so you can see it in action. When you get your wheel, you're going to get a little bag of accessories. This has an additional spring, an additional hook, an additional, well, two kinds of hooks, an additional flyer hook and an additional yarn hook, some O-rings, drive bands, brake bands, anything that you might need to fix up the wheel when parts start to wear out. And then you will also get 2 bags of bobbins. It comes with 6. I have obviously used the other 5 so far, but I didn't put this one together. The bobbins are flat pack, which means that they unscrew this way to become more compact for travel, which is great. They already have the bearings inside of them, so you don't have to worry about that. And the ends just screw on. Once you screw the ends on, there is your bobbin. You want the brake band side to be towards the back. And then you want the brake band to fall into that groove on the wheel. When you get started with a blank bobbin, you're always going to want some kind of leader. I just have some old yarn here that I'm going to use for my leader. And when you start with a leader, you have a couple of options. So I'm just going to knot this together so it's one big loop. Some people like to tape their leader onto the bobbin so that they know it's not going anywhere. That's a fine option. I like to do this. I like to just do a slip knot around the bobbin. And then I actually go the opposite way and do another slip knot. And the reason I do this is because if you've ever tried to put a leader on a wheel and just do a slip knot, you'll notice that when you first get some take up, that leader's just gonna spin around and around the bobbin and it's never gonna start taking up the yarn. If you do a slip knot in both directions, it's not able to spin around. So you're not gonna have that problem. Just use the hook that has a magnet on the left side of the wheel to pull it through the orifice and the eye. And now my leader is set up. I have a little loop here. That's how I'm going to start spinning. And I have my bobbin set up, my drive band's ready to go, my brake band's ready to go. I will have to do some adjusting on that end, but we'll get to there when we start spinning. I'm going to spin the other half of this color right here. So to make my own life easier, I'm just going to split this into a smaller section. This is a mainly Shetland and BFL blend. Set that aside. And I will start, I'm going to turn my speed knob down and we'll start pretty slow. So we'll see this kind of stop and start, and it is now set on 285. I need a little more tension on the brake band. Okay, now I've got a good tension on the brake band. Spinning is going really well. So I'm going to start turning the speed up. And again, when you turn the speed up or down, it is going to do a little of that guess and check action until it gets to the correct speed. And I want this at about 5:15 because that's where I spun the other ones. So right now it's at 4:35. I'll go up. It's at 5:25. That's okay with me. So I'm going to keep spinning right here for a little bit. It is not as quiet as the 6.1, but it's still quiet enough it does not bother me while I'm watching TV or listening to an audiobook. But it is a little bit louder than the 6.1. Once it sets itself on that speed, it's not going to change it. It's super consistent. Very nice little wheel. and I could sit here and spin for hours, which I have obviously done so far. So let's talk a little bit about why you would get an eel wheel from Dreaming Robots as opposed to some other wheels that might serve very similar functions. So before the eel wheel fold, my traveling wheel, also a 3D printed and injection molded wheel, has been the Daedalus Martin. And I'm just now realizing that I got them in very similar colors as well. So the Martin by Daedalus, again, a super innovative, really cool, especially travel wheel. The whole case is actually the wheel. Everything comes packed inside. It sets up over here on this side. Your speed controls are built into the box. The storage option on this is much, much better. So this has a built-in lazy Kate. It has all of the little acumen that you need for the wheel inside the box. This has been a great option. I've had it for about 2 years now. I got it at Rhinebeck 2 years ago. This wheel is $799. This wheel is $279. So does the Daedalus have a lot of really cool features that the Fold doesn't have? Does it offer more storage? Yes. If you're comparing them budget-wise, I think the Fold is your better option. But this is going to be a more high-end model if that's where your budget is. As far as production spinning goes, the 6.1 is a really great little production spinner. I love that the battery fits inside of it. It's so portable. I can take it from room to room and I don't have to unplug anything. Does it offer as much speed as the Woolly-Ann? No. And the Woolly-Ann, this is my plying wheel. I use it almost exclusively for plying. The Woolly-Ann is the production spinner, the production electric spinner from Woolly Winder. So the Woolly Winder is built into the flyer. This has a magnetic tensioning system. It is made out of wood. It's beautiful. But this is also a $2,000 wheel. If you want something gorgeous, a statement piece, you might spring for one of these wheels or the Ashford version or the Schacht version. They all have e-spinners that are beautifully carved out of wood, but they are very expensive wheels. If you have the money for it and you want the statement piece, you want that quality build, go for it. I have spun for hundreds of hours on both of these wheels, and for me, they serve different purposes. This wheel feels very much like Scotch tension. This is my ply wheel. It is auto winding, so I do not have to stop while plying. It is an absolute workhorse. It goes very, very quickly, and I do almost all my plying on this wheel. I almost never spin singles on this wheel because I find that it actually has a little too much pull. I spin almost all my singles on the Eel Wheel 6.1, and now probably the Fold as well. One might live at work, one might live at home. I love these wheels for spinning singles. As someone who has owned more expensive versions of a carbon fiber or 3D printed wheel, as someone who owns a very nice wooden electric spinner, I just want to let you know that these are not cheap options. And what I mean by that is these are not less good options for a beginner spinner or a production spinner. The Eel wheels are some of my favorite wheels on the market. I really love what Maurice is doing, and I owe my spinning journey to Eel Wheel. My very first spinning wheel was the Eel Wheel Nano, not this one, the Eel Wheel Nano 1. When I started spinning, I had just left my teaching job. I had been hired as a flight attendant. Well, not hired, I had been given a conditional job offer, meaning that I had been selected to go to training to be a flight attendant, and I was waiting for that day. I was waiting for the day that they sent me to training. So basically unemployed. I had just gotten into spinning. I was using a spindle at the time, and I was trying to find a wheel. I could not afford anything on the market except for the Eel Wheel Nano. And I did a lot of research on spinning groups and on Reddit, and a lot of people who were really disparaging against this little wheel because they saw it as a toy. And I will say that the Nano specifically is very, very light. That's why the Nano 2 now comes with suction cups to keep it on the table. But I learned to spin on this wheel before I upgraded to the 6.1. I have always been astounded by the price that Maurice is able to sell these wheels at. And anytime I have had an issue with a wheel, I have reached out to him directly and received a response within 24 hours. Extremely helpful. I have done most of my spinning on these wheels, and I really stand by them. Hopefully very soon we get a drum carter Kickstarter, because I'm excited for that as well. So I hope that this showed you a little bit about the Eel Wheel Fold, helps you make a decision on whether or not the Eel Wheel is right for you, and if it is, which one might be right for you. I'm here to say that between these two, this one is definitely going to be more travel focused. This is going to be more production focused. You have a 4-ounce bobbin versus an 8-ounce bobbin. So this will fit a full braid. Usually a fiber will come in a 4-ounce braid. This will fit a full braid. This will fit 2 full braids. And then of course you have to imagine plying. But either one is a great option. And if you're not sure yet, a Nano might be right for you. It's the cheaper option, and it's still going to give you kind of an intro to what an electric wheel is like, but without the multi-$100 price point. Next time you see me, I'm going to be talking about Tour de Fleece and what my goals were and weren't this year, and how to keep ourselves safe and healthy as spinners. I hope to see you then. I've been Piano Spun Fiber Arts. See you soon. Bye.